and just share a little bit of honesty and vulnerability of what I'm currently navigating and give a little bit of insight as to why I do some of the things that I do and what's been going on in my life. Hello. Welcome to Authentically Aligned, a wellness podcast where we speak on all things wellness, from fitness and nutrition to meditation and mindfulness, healing, growth, self-help, and so much more. If you are a new listener, welcome to the podcast. And if you're a returning listener, thank you so much for your love and support. And I want you to know that I'm sending you that same love and support right back. So originally for today's episode, I had a completely different topic of discussion. And I woke up this morning and I was feeling some type of way. And I decided to switch it up a little bit based on how I've been feeling and just share a little bit of honesty and vulnerability of what I'm currently navigating and give a little bit of insight as to why I do some of the things that I do and what's been going on in my life. So rewinding a little bit, this past weekend was my birthday weekend. And of course, I was going to celebrate. Now, for those who may know or may not know, for the past 6 months, I have not been drinking. It started New Year's. I decided not to drink for 30 days. And then I had a good friend of mine who challenged me to not drink for 90 days. And of course, I'm not going to turn down a challenge. Don't ever challenge me. And after 90 days, I really just didn't have the desire to drink anymore. I would have an occasional glass of wine here and there. But the reason that I stopped drinking and decided to stop drinking was because I wasn't liking the effects that it was having on my body, on my spirit, on my mind, on my heart, just my general sense of well-being. And I felt so much better. I felt so much more connected with myself, in tune with myself when I wasn't drinking. And because I do have the self-awareness, I was able to very quickly realize that when I do drink, I feel the effects of the alcohol for not only the day or the next day after. Of course, we all feel some sort of hangover symptoms, but I will really feel it for a few days in my body. And a lot of times it's very heightened emotions of feeling sad or upset, sometimes a little bit of depression, high anxiety, and just low vibration. So that was the main reason that I stopped drinking. Now, of course, this past weekend, I was like, no, it's time to celebrate. I haven't been drinking. Like, let's go out. I went out a few days. And this morning I woke up and my body was not feeling great. My mind was not feeling great. My spirit was not feeling great. I had very high anxiety. And to be honest, I was just feeling sad. And I'm like, wait a second, why am I feeling sad? Like, I have no reason to be feeling sad. I have no reason to be in this depressed state that I woke up in. And I felt it really important for me to share this with my audience because I think it's a really real thing. I think that we don't always realize the effects that certain things have on our bodies. So today, I really just want to talk about internal self-awareness and having the awareness and comfortability of being vulnerable and open with yourself and your emotions and what's going on inside of your body. Because your body is going to tell you. But if you're not listening to your body and you don't realize, maybe not just with alcohol, but other things, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's environments that you're putting yourself in, activities that you're participating in, and really finding that true self-awareness, not externally, but internally, is such an important component on your journey to healing, becoming better, becoming this highest version of yourself that we often talk about. So the question is, how do we become internally self-aware? What are the factors that make us internally self-aware? And what are the practices that we can continue to do in order to consistently increase our internal self-awareness? So what is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the understanding of yourself and its internal state. So this can include thoughts, feelings, emotions, passions and interests, personal values, and can even include your life's purpose, which is what we're all trying to find and become closer to. When you're internally self-aware, you can identify your emotional and behavioral triggers, and you can recognize how your state affects everything in your life, whether it be your personal relationships, your successes, the things you're going through, your daily productivity, and even the decisions that you make. A lot of times when you are able to find that internal self-awareness, it will take you from feeling lost and out of control and misunderstood and unsure and uncertain to feeling empowered and certain and confident and ready to step into your true life's purpose. I think that a lot of my true, genuine happiness and fulfillment and joy and gratitude and abundance really has stemmed from having that internal self-awareness and being able to navigate the things that trigger me, the things that don't make me feel so great, and the things that my body is rejecting so hard. And it took me years to understand, years to figure out that my body had been telling me something for quite some time. It has allowed me to easily and effortlessly make decisions, to manage my emotions and have that emotional intelligence because I recognize my emotional triggers. And by recognizing my emotional triggers, I'm able to control my reaction and not even have a reaction because I understand that what I'm dealing with or the things that are going through my mind or the things that are going through my body are due to outside factors and not my true, genuine being and my personal self. It also has absolutely helped me to recognize my strengths and weaknesses, which has helped me not only in my career and growing my career and building my career, but also in my relationships and my friendships and my family, because I am able to properly articulate exactly how it is that I'm feeling. I'm able to articulate my needs. I'm able to just be so confident in every word that I speak or every action that I take because I know that I am 100% in tune with my internal self. And when I am able to make those decisions and take action, I feel so content and so confident. And I have just such a sense of peace knowing that my authenticity is rooted in my internal self-awareness. So with that, how do we work on and find these practices to bring us closer to our internal self-awareness? And not only bring us closer, but maintain the self-awareness, right? Because self-awareness is absolutely a practice. And if we practice for a few months and then we stop because we think, oh, I'm self-aware, it's fine, you start to fall back into these old tendencies and patterns and habits. So regardless of how self-aware you may be or think that you are or feel that you are, it is a forever practice and it's something that you can consistently always be working on. And what are habits that we can do in order to maintain this self-awareness or create and cultivate this self-awareness? So having mindfulness is first and foremost. Mindfulness is going to allow you to check in with yourself before you check in with anything else. Being mindful of the things that do bring emotional triggers or the things that don't feel like you're being quite yourself, the things that feel inauthentic. And then you're able to recognize, okay, what in the last day or 24 hours did I partake in? Where did I surround myself? What kinds of people was I around? What are the activities that I did that caused me to feel this way? Because just 2 days ago, I was feeling so incredible. I was so happy, joyous, and now I'm feeling this way. And sometimes it can be our own mind. It can be our self-limiting beliefs. It can be self-sabotage. But a lot of times there is something that triggers that. Now, whether that's scrolling on social media or surrounding yourself with people who are maybe not uplifting and supporting you, or drinking alcohol that leads you into this spiral of, oh my gosh, what am I doing with my life? So being aware of the activities that you participate in and making conscious decisions the next time. The last time that I did this, it led me to feel this way. It led me to spiral. It led me to do this. It led me to do this. So should I make that same decision again? Is making this decision again going to lead to the same outcome as last time or a different outcome? And the goal is to create different outcomes. If you're not satisfied with your life, if you're not satisfied with the way that things are going, you have to change the actions that you're taking in order to change the outcome. A lot of these practices go hand in hand, but having time for self-reflection, having time to understand your emotions and understand why you may be feeling a certain way, and understanding if you're inflicting that upon yourself or if it's something else that is inflicting it upon you. And like I said, taking action to change that same cycle that you have been in for maybe months, maybe years, who knows how long it's been. Something else that I really, really recommend you doing is having a check-in. I recommend doing a meditation check-in where you start at the top of your head and you check in with your entire body. Because when you're able to do this, when you're able to start in a meditation, take everything else that's around you outside and really just be present with yourself, you're really able to tap into how your body is feeling. You're really able to tap into thoughts you may be having. You're really able to tap into emotions you may be having, things that you're feeling within your body. We really don't understand how much our body holds on to. And our body does hold on to the things that we've been through. Our body does hold on to the traumas and the triggers and the things that we've been through in our life. And when we're able to sit and check in with our body and understand, wow, this is really interesting because I'm feeling this tension in my neck today that I wasn't feeling last week or even 2 days ago. What am I holding on to here? And how can I release that? What do I need to do to work through that? And I think it's just really important to have that mind-body connection of the things that you're going through and how it is affecting your body. Whether it's you feeling tired, a lot of times when we're feeling tired, when we're feeling exhausted, when we're feeling like we don't want to do something, it's because we're being inauthentic to our internal self, to our body. And when we start to move in authenticity and we start to move in honesty and vulnerability, we start to feel fulfilled, and then we're replenished with energy and we're able to have that lighthearted spirit and feeling about us. I think it's really important for us to set goals when it comes to our internal self-awareness. What are the things that we want to understand about our mind? What are the things that we want to understand about our body? And what are the things that we want to understand about that connection between our mind and our body, the connection between our mind and our emotions and our body and our emotions, and really being clear about that and understanding how you want to feel at the end of the day, because we create our own feelings. Our mind works collectively with our body to create our emotions. And if we are allowing our mind to take over with self-limiting beliefs and self-sabotage, and we're also allowing our body to hold on to tensions, or we're not caring for our body in the right way, we're fueling our body with, literally, they are called spirits. And when people really start to have that connection, when you really start to become in tune with your body, you feel these spirits in your body and you feel unlike yourself. And all you want to do is get back to being your truest self and continuing to practice that. I think also having time where you do check-ins and taking time to write the experiences that you've had throughout your day and throughout your week and understand what one thing may have caused you to feel within your body, feel within your emotions, or start to think in your mind. And then it was just a domino effect through your body. I think another really, really great practice in mastering our internal self-awareness is mindful listening. So when we're around others and we're communicating with others, so often we love to halfway listen and then think of our next sentence while they're still talking or they're still sharing and being vulnerable and open. And I think that it's very important to take time to listen to the people in your life, the relationships that you have, the people that you choose to spend your time around. And when you're able to really listen and intently take in the information that they're giving you and take a second to process that, take a second to relate to them. I think that it allows us to really slow down and also understand our emotions. Rather than being reactive to what they're saying, we're taking time to cultivate and understand what is going on. Let me take a second after you finish your sentence to process what you just said, to understand how I feel about what you said. Is this something that aligns with my values and my morals, or do I disagree with this? But taking time to really take a beat, take a breath, and think about the conversation that you're having. And it does bring self-awareness because now you're not just speaking to this person based off an initial reaction. You're really listening to your body. You're listening to your mind, everything in connection, and you're able to have a more authentic conversation and a more authentic connection with somebody. So then when you're able to build an authentic relationship or friendship, you are able to have people in your life that hold you accountable, that know when something is off and can recognize and pinpoint, that response was a little reactive. And of course, we all do it. We're all going to have those moments. But to have people who are able to hold you accountable because they know your true essence and your true being, but you're not able to share that with anybody until you're able to recognize it within yourself and have those conversations with yourself and be clear with yourself. And then you have that accountability. You have the people who are going to keep you in check. And also, it's great to have the like-minded people who want to be better and consistently growing. So you're consistently helping each other and helping each other remain self-aware and present in every moment. And with that being said, I think that it's so important to ask people for feedback. We have people around us who have definitely seen our growth, but we also have people around us who have definitely seen us digress in some sort of growth that we may have been through, because everything that we talk about in these episodes on this podcast is all about growth. It's about self-expansion. It's about a continuous journey and process of healing, but it's a continuous practice. It's a forever practice. And there are definitely times when we fall out of practice with some of these things. And to be able to ask for feedback or have somebody recognize that, oh, maybe you've fallen a little bit out of this practice. I think that there are a lot of people who may take offense to that if somebody tells them, maybe not that they've fallen out of practice, however you want to word it to your friend or however your friend words it to you. I think that there are a lot of people that will take offense to that. But the reality is that it's just somebody who cares about you that wants to help you, and being able to take feedback from somebody and not necessarily take on what they have to say. Sometimes people will tell us things that actually don't resonate with us, that maybe is a projection. But I think that it's important for us to actively listen and then do the self-introspection of, oh, have I fallen back into some of my old patterns? What does that look like? What do my old patterns look like? What do some of my newer patterns look like? And really just being able to be honest with yourself. Because if you're not able to be honest with yourself, you're not able to be honest with others, and you're not living a life of authenticity. So taking time to really reflect and journal. And sometimes that requires us to be a little bit more still. That requires us to take a little bit more time in the quiet. It requires us to quiet our own minds. And it requires us to sit in a state of solitude where we have to identify behaviors that we have, habits that we have, patterns that we have, cycles that we have, and understand how, if, and why we want to break them. And when you're able to do that, you are able to have this self-awareness that when one little thing triggers you or starts to throw you off, you know, oh, this isn't me. This is not the me that I have built. This is not the me that is my higher self. This is not what I have been working so hard and changed all my habits for. And you're able to really identify emotions that maybe are not even yours. Just as I was saying this morning, I woke up and I was feeling very sad. I was feeling very anxious. And it really made no sense to me because I had such an incredible weekend. And I had to really take a step back and be like, okay, what's going on in my body? Where is it because I didn't sleep? Is it because I put alcohol into my body? Is it because of the people that I was around? And I think it was so valuable for me to sit back and have that conversation with myself this morning because it allowed me to come back to the present moment. It allowed me to recognize the abundance of incredible people and community that I have in my life. It required me to recognize how much content and joy and fulfillment that I have within myself in this present moment of my life. And then I was able to recognize that these feelings that I was having was not me. And it was an outside factor that I allowed to come into my body and change my actions, my behavior, my emotions, my mental state. And when you're able to navigate this and really target that, it's so empowering because instantly after I had this moment, it was more than a moment, 30 minutes to an hour of self-reflection, I was able to flip my mindset and flip the trajectory of my day because I was like, no, you just had an incredible weekend. You're having an incredible day. You're feeling great. You have great things going in your life. This was just a moment where you allowed an outside factor to control your emotions and control your mind. And when you have full control of your emotions and your mind, or when you're able to revert back to them, it's such a beautiful feeling. It's such an incredible feeling to have. It's also going to help you so much throughout your life because you're going to continue to find and build that clarity that we talk about. You're going to be able to have confidence in your discernment and decision making. And you're going to be able to move through life with such an ease and flow. That is one thing that I am so about right now is everything in my life should be flow. And if it's not flow and it's having to be forced and I'm having to work for it, it's not meant for me. And I think that is really beautiful. Now, of course, you're going to have to work for some of the things that you want in life, but you're going to know the work that is building what you're doing and growing what you're doing and is actually truly God's work and your purpose, and the work that is forced upon you, because the work that is forced upon you is going to leave you feeling disconnected. It's going to leave you feeling exhausted. It's going to leave you feeling defeated. And yeah, it's just going to leave you feeling not connected with yourself. So this week, I want your practice to be spending 10 minutes a day self-reflecting, Spending 10 minutes a day understanding your emotions, understanding your thoughts, understanding different scenarios and situations that maybe you went throughout the day. That was that an emotional response? Was that a reaction? Was that a response that was in alignment with my highest self? And the goal is to continue this practice. The goal is to check in with yourself, not just for 10 minutes a day, but throughout the day, every single day, and make sure that you are still connected with yourself and you are still in alignment with everything that you stand for. And taking this internal self-reflection with you through every practice that you have, because when you start to take your internal self-reflection into your meditation and your daily habits and all of your other practices, is when you really start to grow, because now you're changing habits based on awareness versus based on the things that you think you should be doing in order to create a life of purpose and alignment. So yeah, this episode was a little bit different because I really wanted to share a backstory and share exactly how I was feeling today in this moment, because I think it's so important for people to recognize. It's important for people to take a step back. A lot of times when we're having a bad day, we just take it as having a bad day and we let it continue through the entire day. And we say, oh yeah, today was a bad day. But the reality is you can change that. And all it takes is having that internal self-awareness, the emotional intelligence, the ability to be vulnerable and honest and open with yourself so that you're able to be vulnerable and honest and open with everything else in your life. So this week I challenge you, and I'm challenging myself too, to spend 10 minutes at least, if not more, a day doing the self-reflection, doing the internal work to self-awareness, because it is going to change your journey. It's going to change your life. It's going to change your mood. It's going to change the way that you move through life. So as you move through this week today, I want you to know that I am sending you so much love and light, and I am proud of you for embarking on this journey to self-awareness, growth, and healing.